ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवन्नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 31, from verse 20. I'm just checking. Give me 1 second more. Mm, Can someone confirm if you can see?
Yes, Roji, we can see, we can hear.
You can hear. Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry. Just closed it. Just- Yeah, if you can see now again. Um, no. Too many windows, sorry. Mm, okay. Able to see or not yet? Okay, now
Oh,
it
yes,
is.
Roji. Yeah, I can see.
सोऽहं वसनपि विभो बहुदुःखवासं गर्भान्न निर्जिगमशे बहिरन्धकूपे यत्रोपयातम् उपसर्पति देवमाया मिथ्यामतिर्यदनुसंसृतिचक्रम् एतत्. Therefore, my Lord, although I am living in a terrible condition, I do not wish to depart from my mother's abdomen to fall again into the blind well of materialistic life. Your external energy called Deva Maya at once captures the newly born child and immediately false identification, which is the beginning of the cycle of continual birth and death begins. तस्माद् अहं विगतविक्लवः उद्धरिष्य आत्मानमाशु तमसः सुहृदात्मनैव भूयो यथा व्यसनम् एतदनेकरन्ध्रं मे भविष्यत् उपसादितविष्णुपादः. Therefore, without being agitated anymore, I shall deliver myself from the darkness of nescience with the help of my friend, clear consciousness. Simply by keeping the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu in my mind, I shall be saved from entering into the wombs of many mothers for repeated birth and death. Kapila Uvacha. एवं कृतमतिर्गर्भे दशमास्य स्तुवन् ऋषिः सद्यो क्षिपति अवाचीनं प्रासूत्यै सूति मारुतः. Lord Kapila continued, the 10-month-old living entity has these desires even while in the womb. But while he thus extols the Lord, the wind that helps parturition propels him forth with his face turned downward so that he may be born. तेनावश्रितः सहसा कृत्वा वाक्शिरो आतुरः विनिष्क्रामति कृच्छ्रेण निरुच्छ्वासो हतः स्मृति. Pushed downward all of a sudden by the wind, the child comes out with great trouble, head downward, breathless, and deprived of memory due to severe agony. पततो भुव्य अश्रुन्मिश्रः विष्टाभूर इव चेतसे रोरूयते गते ज्ञाने विपरीतां gatim gataha. The child thus falls on the ground, smeared with stool and blood, and placed just like a worm germinated from the stool. He loses his superior knowledge and cries out under the spell of Maya. परच्छन्दं न विदुषा पुष्यमानो जनेन सह अनभिप्रेतम् आपन्नः प्रत्याख्यातुम् अनिश्रवः. After coming out of the abdomen, the child is given to the care of persons who are unable to understand what he wants, and thus he is nursed by such persons. Unable to refuse whatever is given to him, he falls into undesirable circumstances. शायितोषु शायितोषुचि पर्यङ्के जन्तुः स्वेदज दूषिते नेशः कण्डूयनेङ्गानाम् आसनोत्थानचेतसे. Laid down on a foul bed infested with sweat and germs, the poor child is incapable of scratching his body to get relief from his itching sensation, to say nothing of sitting up, standing, or even moving. Tudanti atmatvacham dambas damsa. Let me say. Yeah. Tudantyatmatvacham damsa masaka matkunda dayaha rudamta vigatagnan kramyaya kram, krama, kramayah krimikam yataha. In his helpless condition, gnats, mosquitoes, bugs, and other germs bite the baby, whose skin is so tender, just as smaller worms bit a big worm. The child, deprived of his wisdom, cries bitterly. इत्येवं शैशवं भुक्त्वा दुःखं पौगण्डम् एव च अलब्धाभीप्सितो ज्ञानाद् इद्धमन्युः सुचार्पितः. In this way, the child passes through his childhood, suffering different kinds of distress and attains boyhood. In boyhood also, he suffers pain over desires to get things he can never achieve, and thus, due to ignorance, he becomes angry and sorry. सह देहेन मानेन वर्धमानेन मन्युना करोतो करोति विग्रहं कामी कामिष्वन्ताय chatmanah. With the growth of the body, the living entity, in order to vanquish his soul, increases his false prestige and anger, and thereby creates enmity towards similarly lusty people. भूतै पञ्चभिरारब्धे देहे देहि अबुधो सकृत् अहं ममेति असद्ग्राहः करोति कुमतिर्मतिम्. By such ignorance, the living entity accepts the material body, which is made of five elements, as himself. With this misunderstanding, he accepts non-permanent things as his own and increases his ignorance in the darkest region. तदर्थं कुरुते कर्म यद्बद्धो याति संस्मृतिं यो अन्युयाति ददं क्लेशम् avidya karma bandhanah. For the sake of the body, which is a source of constant trouble to him, and which follows him because he is bound by ties of ignorance and fruitive activities, he performs various actions which cause him to be subjected to repeated birth and death. यद्यसब्दिः पति पुनः शिष्णोदर कृतो कृतोद्यमैः आस्थितो रमते जन्तुस्तमो विशति पूर्ववत्. If, therefore, the living entity again associated with the path of unrighteousness, influenced by sensually minded people, engaged in the pursuit of sexual enjoyment and the gratification of the palate, he again goes to the hell as before. सत्यं शौचं दया मौनं बुद्धिश्रीर्हिर्यशः क्षमां समो दमो भगश्चेति यत्सङ्गात् याति संक्षयम्. He becomes devoid of truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, gravity, spiritual indulgence, shyness, austerity, fame, forgiveness, control of mind, control of senses, fortune, and all other opportunities. तेष्वसां तेषु मूढेषु खण्डिता swa asadushu sangam na kuryat chosheshu yoshit krida mrugeshu cha. One should not associate with a coarse fool who is bereft of knowledge of self-realization and who is no more than a dancing dog in the hands of a woman. न ततास्य भवेन्मोहो बन्धश्चान्य प्रसङ्गतः योषित् सङ्गाद् यथा पुंसो यथा तत्सङ्गि सङ्गतः. The infatuation and bondage which accrue to a man from attachment to another to any other object is not as complete as that resulting from attachment to a woman or to the fellowship of men who are fond of women. Let me read again, sorry. The infatuation and bondage which accrue to a man from attachment to any other object is not as complete as that resulting from attachment to a woman or to the fellowship of men who are fond of women. प्रजापति स्वाम दुहितरम दृष्ट्वा तद्रूपदर्शितः रोहित रोहिद्भूतां सोऽन्वदावद् ऋक्षारूपी हतः तृपः. At the sight of his own daughter, Brahma was bewildered by her charms and shamelessly ran up to her in the form of a stag when she took the form of a hind. तत्सृष्टसृष्टसृष्टेषु कोऽन्वन्खण्डितधीः पुन्मान् ऋषिं नारायणं मृते योषिन्मयेह मायया. Amongst all kinds of living entities begotten by Brahma, namely men, demigods, and animals, none but the sage Narayana is immune to the attraction of Maya in the form of woman. बलमे पश्य मायायाः श्रीमय्या जैनो दिशां या करोति पदाक्रान्तान् भ्रुवि ग्रम्भेन केवलम्. Just try to understand the mighty strength of my Maya in the shape of woman, who, by the mere movement of her eyebrows, can keep even the greatest conquerors of the world under her grip. संगम न कुर्यात् प्रमदाशु जातु योगस्य पारं परम आरुरुक्षुः मत्सेवया प्रतिलब्धात्मलाभो वदन्ति या निरय द्वारम अस्य. One who aspires to reach the culmination of yoga and who has realized his self by rendering service unto me should never associate with an attractive woman, for such a woman is declared in the scriptures to be the gateway to hell for the advancing devotee. योपयाति स नैर्माया योषिद्देव विनिर्मिता ताम ईक्षेतात्मनो मृत्युम तृणैः कूपम इवावृतम्. The woman created by the Lord is the representation of Maya, and one who associates with such Maya by accepting services must certainly know that this is the way of death, just like a blind well covered with grass. Yam manyate patim mohan manmaya manmayam rishabhayatim stritvam stri sangatah prapto vittapatya griha pradam. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to a woman in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of a woman, foolishly looks upon Maya in the form of a man, her husband, as the bestower of wealth, progeny, house, and other material assets. तामात्मनो विजानीया पत्यात्पत्य गृहात्मकं दैवोपसादितं मृत्युं मृगयोर्गायनं यथा. A woman therefore should consider her husband, sorry, a woman therefore should consider her husband, her house, and her children to be the arrangement of external energy of the Lord for her death, just as the sweet singing of hunter is death for the deer. देहेन चैव भूतेन लोकान् लोकम् अनुव्रजन् भुञ्जान एव कर्माणि करोति अविरतं पुमान्. Due to his particular type of body, the materialistic living entity wanders from one planet to another following fruitive activities. In this way, he involves himself in fruitive activities and enjoys the results incessantly. जीवो हि अस्यानुगो देहो भूतेन्द्रियमनोमयः तन्निरोधोऽस्य मरणम् आविर्भावस्तु सम्भवः In this way, the living entity gets a suitable body with a material mind and senses according to his fruitive activities. When the reaction of his particular activities comes to an end, that end is called death. And when a particular type of reaction begins, that beginning is called birth. द्रव्यो द्रव्योपलब्धि स्थानस्य द्रव्येक दर् द्रव्योपलब्धिस्थानस्य द्रव्येक्षायोगता यदा तत्पञ्चत्वम् अहमानाद् उत्पत्तिर्द्रव्यदर्शनं यथाक्ष्णोर्द्रव्यावयवा दर्शनायोगता यदा तदैव चक्षुषु दृष्ट्यो वा योग आत्मनयोः. When the eyes, when the eyes lose their power to see color or form due to morbid affliction of optic nerve, the sense of sight becomes deadened. The living entity, who is the seer of both the eyes and the sight, loses his power of vision. In the same way, when the physical body, the place where perception of objects occur, is rendered incapable of perceiving, that is known as death. When one begins to view the physical body as one's very self, that is called birth. तस्मान्न कार्या संतोष संत्रासो न कार्पण्यं न संभ्रमः भूत्वा जीवगतिं धीरो मुक्तसङ्गचरेत् इह. Therefore, one should not view the death with horror, nor have recourse to defining the body as soul, nor give way to exaggeration in enjoying the bodily necessities of life. Realizing the true nature of living entity, one should move about in the world free from attachment and steadfast in purpose. सम्यक् दर्शनया बुद्ध्या योगवैराग्ययुक्तया माया विरचिते लोके चरन्नस्य कलेवरम्. Endowed with right vision and strengthened by devotional service, a pessimistic attitude towards material identity, one should relegate his body to this illusory world through his reason. Thus, one can be unconcerned with this material world. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thus ends this chapter 31 from Canto 3, Lord Kapila's instruction on the movements of the living entities. So we'll cover from 20 to 48. Okay. So here we are saying that this baby or the infant who is inside the womb is praying. He is praying that, oh, I am living in a terrible condition. I do not wish to depart from my mother's abdomen to fall again into the blind well of materialistic life. This means the soul inside the womb, when he or she is fortunate, is able to know what world he is going to see. And just like, okay, we don't want to go into those dangerous places of the world where we think, oh, no, 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 even if someone is giving me uh, a free ticket, I will not fly by this so and so. Yeah. Why? Because he is scared. So here the baby is scared and he's saying to the Lord, he's saying, your external energy called Deva Maya at once captures the newly born child and immediately false identification. So this is the biggest disease one can have. The biggest disease is to forget ourselves. Mm, was it Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj or Kavichandra Maharaj? He was saying, yeah, I think Kavichandra Maharaj was mentioning, just imagine when a person forgets, what is this disease called? Is it dem dementia or
Dementia.
Alzheimer.
Alzheimer? Dementia, which one?
Alzheimer is fully complete loss of
Say again.
Dementia, Prabhuji.
Dementia?
Mhm.
Okay. And what is
Dementia covers
Alzheimer?
everything. Alzheimer is a type of dementia. So
Okay.
dementia is like a broader term.
Okay. Thank you. So just imagine, I mean, we have doctors here who can also say how usually the patients are handled is in the US. Usually A person who forgets himself, totally forgets himself, then what is the therapy is they bring a big album of photos and they keep showing all kinds of photos. Yeah, we never know, right? If you know who are the family members, then you can also say, hey, can you you see in this photo you are there, like that. No, when a person who forgets completely himself, he comes end up in a hospital. What has happens is they start showing all photos whatever they can in the newspaper, whatever photo they can see. Hey, can you identify this person, this person, this person, this person? And finally, when he comes across a so and so person, I think this is a real incident. He was actually the person who was a staff member in the hospital. Hmm? Very strange. And then he could identify, oh, he's his brother or so and so. And that's how it is done, which means the real identity, when one forgets, it is the biggest, yeah, disaster. After all, we are remembering so many things we are with great struggle, with great effort, so that we can make use of them. Just imagine you have bought so many properties all over, and oh, if you forget, oh, it's gone. Yeah, people even don't know because we usually don't share with everyone. Oh, I have that, I have this, or I have this, and all. So it's such a big dangerous disease to forget our identity, to forget everything. Yeah, and this is also, it is said in this 20th verse, is said that your external energy, Deva Maya, at once captures the newly born baby and immediately false identification, which is the beginning of the child cycle of continual birth and death begins. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, it's that, but once he is outside the abdomen, when the child is born, this material energy is so strong, this illusory energy is so strong that he immediately overpowered into considering his body to be his self. And then because of this false egoistic consciousness, he thinks, I am this body. At once develops after the child comes out of the womb. The mother and other relatives are awaiting the child, and as soon as he is born, the mother feeds him and everyone takes care of him. The living entity soon forgets his position and becomes entangled in the bodily relationship. It is just like, ha, welcome, welcome. Yeah, now be part of our hmm, sangha. Yeah, they say, hey, be part of my cozy family. So, yeah, in fact, yeah, we know that Shukadeva Goswami, it is said that Shukadeva Goswami on this consideration remained for 16 years within the womb of his mother. He did not want to be entangled in the false bodily identification. After cultivating such knowledge within the womb of his mother, he came out at the end of 16 years and immediately left home so that he might not be captured by the influence of Maya. So 16 years itself he was growing inside the womb of the mother, and then after coming he just ran. By the influence of Maya only, one forgets his eternal relationship with Krishna and identifying himself with his body and the byproducts of the body. What are the byproducts? Wife, children, society, friendship, and love. Thus he becomes victim of the influence of Maya. Again, always the question comes, hey, is it not that we should blame Maya, or is it not we should blame the creator of this Maya? Yeah, it just like a magician, he is mesmerizing us, so whose fault it is? Yeah, if we enjoy a magic show, right, Parth Prabhu, we pay so much money and go to see a magic show, right? And if he is fooling us, should we blame him or should we blame ourselves?
Yes, Prabhuji. I've never been to magic show in last, maybe I don't know, I forgot. Once
Okay.
I was child, I been.
Okay, yeah, there is this Sarkar Magic, there is Pattavi. So many people are famous, yeah. Why? Because they pay so much money to get fooled. In the end, you enjoy that becoming a fool, right? Yeah. And then, anyway, that's not the main theme of the day, anyway. So, therefore, it goes further. Therefore, without being agitated anymore, so this soul is thinking, I shall deliver myself from the darkness of nescience. And while all this is happening, he's thinking, let me, with my real clean consciousness, I am thinking it's not fitting to go out. Simply by keeping the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu in my heart, I shall be saved from entering into the womb of any many mothers for repeated birth and death. So, in the purport, it's written that the best thing, therefore, is to develop Krishna consciousness. Why? Because when we have developed a refined consciousness, and in this material world, when we are there, when we are practicing, when we are working out and engaging ourselves in devotional service, through that we can get free from this cycle of birth and death. He will be saved from the repetition of birth and death. It is not, it goes further. It may be questioned herein how the child can be fully Krishna conscious within the womb of mother without any paraphernalia with which to execute Krishna consciousness. That may be a question, right? It is not necessary to arrange for paraphernalia to worship the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. The child wants to remain within the abdomen of its mother and at the same time wants to become free from the clutches of Maya. One does not need any material arrangement to cultivate Krishna consciousness. One can cultivate Krishna consciousness anywhere and everywhere, provided he can always think of Krishna. The Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, can be chanted even within the abdomen of one's mother. One can chant while sleeping, while working, while imprisoned in the womb, or while outside. This Krishna consciousness cannot be checked in any circumstance. So, the conclusion of the child's prayer is, let me remain in this condition, although it is very miserable, it is better than not to go out and become a victim of Maya. That is the thought. So here we can see this potency of chanting of the name is so powerful and also is practical, very, very practical. We don't really think, if I'm now doing japa, I should take a bath. Oh no, I have to select only during the early Brahma Muhurta time, not in the evenings, not in the afternoons, not in the sandhyas. No, nothing like that. Chanting can go on forever. And in fact, how can a child chant inside the womb? By hearing, because the organs are developing, and when the organs of do you call hearing is refined and formed, then the sounds can go in. And of course these are only external, these are only material sense organs, but actually the soul is really uh, potent to perceive the sound. And that's why the chanting of the holy name constantly, in fact, yeah, one who is have who has who have conceived, usually they are very eager, so that all the time they keep playing this mahamantra, not only in the morning, not only in the evening, even the night, at a very soothing, so that the child can keep hearing. And when he is hearing, he is also, if he is fortunate or she is fortunate, then what is happening is also singing, and that becomes opportunity to free. That's why how a responsible parent is bringing a responsible child out. So the child is responsible for his own deliverance, and of course, in that way, he is also helping the parents' deliverance. So in that way, yeah. So this is what a mother can take care of the baby. It's not like what are we giving after. One can already start feeding the child with spiritual consciousness while inside the womb. And then Kapila Muni is further continuing, saying, okay, how he's coming out. And once he comes out, there are clap hands. Everyone is ready. In fact, they are seeing, immediately as the child comes out, smeared with stool and blood, and he's given a car wash. Sorry, what is it? Yeah, like that, he is taken, given a bath, and then put into an incubator in a very, very sensitive, what do you call this place? Anyway, this very, very careful, highly careful zone, and then what is happening during this process, because he gets shock. He's not getting a shock of the cold wind. He's not getting shock of the heat that's there. He's getting shock of the material energy. He doesn't. He starts forgetting, because he's pushed so hard against, and then once he comes out, then he forgets, and the child is then, after coming out of the abdomen, child is given to the care of persons who are unable to understand what he wants. It's very difficult. I think it was, which chapter you said, Satish Prabhu? 30, right? 330 we were discussing
Yes,
about
it-
how a person is leaving the world, and when he is leaving the world, no one knows, no one has a clue what is he telling, because he has no energy to speak loud, he has no energy to show some signs what he wants, whether it is pain or whether it is itch, nothing one can do. So in such a horrible condition, he leaves. And here is the child who is coming out is also in a very, very pathetic situation, because he is, it said, in fact, the word here used is poor child. It said, laid down on the foul bed infested with sweat and germs. No, 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 I am providing a very nice cushion cloth. Who knows that cloth is really giving comfort? Maybe it's giving comfort for our skin, not for his. And the poor child is incapable of scratching his body to get relief from his itching sensation, to say nothing of sitting up, standing, or even moving. It's just like out. Yeah? That's why it says in the purport also, because he is disturbed by the germs in his foul bed, which is contaminated by his urine and stool, the poor child continues to cry. He is unable to take any remedial measures for his relief. So that's why it said, in helpless condition, whose skin is tender, just as smaller worms eat big worms, all these mosquitoes, when they come, the only thing they can do is cry. Uh, Deprived of his wisdom, cries bitterly. Uh, Not only children but also elderly persons should be very careful to protect their sense of Krishna consciousness and avoid unfavorable circumstances, so that they may not forget their prime duty. The word here used is Vigata Jnanam, means the spiritual knowledge which the child developed in abdomen is already lost to the spell of Maya. So it's not only a problem for the kid, it's a problem of every age. Yeah, even elders, they have to be careful to guard, otherwise there will be so many attractions that will be there, there will be so many depressions, what do you call, all kinds of problems. This tapatraya, adhyatmika, adibhautika, adi, daivika kleshas are there, tapatrayas. This And then there is also this inconvenience one is feeling, due to which he forgets everything. In this way, the child passes through his childhood, suffering different kinds of distress, and attains boyhood. In boyhood also he suffers pain over desires to get things he can never achieve. Very clear statement. Kapila Muni is saying, oh, we want that, we want, sometimes now the kids can write a big, um a reel of desires, that I want that, I want this. If we ask what will you do, maybe there is small interest, but he doesn't even know sometimes why he want. Hmm? So, and it said in boyhood he suffers pain over desires to get things, but he will not achieve, and thus due to ignorance he becomes angry and sorrow. Hmm? This from birth to 5 years it is called childhood. From 5 to 15 it is pauganda, and at 16 youth begins. Another kind of distress is that he wants to get something with which to play, but circumstances may be such that he is not able to attain them, and thus he becomes aggrieved and pain. This is what happens. And when growth of the body, it goes with the growth of the body, the living entity, in order to vanquish his soul, increases his false prestige and anger. See, what was very submissive, humble, or in innocence or adamant, all these things will slowly transform into false prestige and anger. He thinks, hey, if not now, when? Now I am grown up, now I am self-independent, I can do whatever I want with full confidence, I don't need support. And that false ego and anger cause thereby creates enmity towards similarly lusty people. So Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, 36th verse. Uh, Arjuna is asking about the cause of living entities lust. Why is this lust is so strong? It is said that living entity is eternal and such qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord. Then what is the purpose? So what is the reason he falls prey to the material and commits so many sinful activities? And in reply to this question, Krishna says that it is lust which causes a living entity to glide down from a very nice place. This lust circumstantially changes into anger. So both lust and anger stand on platform of mode of passion. So one should be very careful. Anger also, the purport goes little longer and explaining the importance of anger. It's not said that one should give up anger. It's not possible. Anger also can be utilized towards a person who is atheistic or who is envious of the personality of Godhead. In fact, that is why Srila Prabhupada, he is also we see he is very strong and angry upon some people who have very atheistic mindset. And what they do, first of all, they are already going into a dark pit because they themselves are blind. But they will also carry some more people with them, and that is very dangerous. As we have fallen into this material existence because of our lust and anger, the same two qualities can be utilized for the purpose of advancing in Krishna consciousness. So one should be very strong. So Srila Rupa Goswami has recommended that because in the material existence we have so many other objects of sense gratification which we need for material maintenance of body, we should use all of them without attachment. Anyabhilashita sunyam. So one should be engaging completely in the service of the Lord, whatever we get. Hmm? And goes further that by such ignorance the living entity accepts this body and then he thinks I am the body, I am the body, I am the body. If you ask anyone, first thought comes is, hey, I am this body. The expansion of ignorance is explained in this verse. The first ignorance is to identify one's material body, which is made of five elements, as a self. And the second ignorance, and the second is to accept something as one's own due to a bodily connection. In this way, ignorance expands. And in fact, there is a link from sixth canto. I mean, we don't get time, but yeah, we can discuss many some other time. Oh, is something broken? Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, Roji.
Okay. Okay. So, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that one has to work to satisfy Yajna or Vishnu. For any work done without the purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord is cause of bondage. So, the easiest way is that we don't do things for us, but we offer everything to the Lord. Andha yatandair upaniyamana. When a blind man leads several other blind men, the result is that all of them fall down in a ditch. This is actually happening. That is the reason a compassionate, saintly person may also become very, very furious, very angry for a good, justifiable reason. Why? Because one is falling down and he is also taking so many people with him. There are many leaders to lead the ignorant public, but because every one of them is bewildered by the bodily conception of life, there is no peace and prosperity. So yeah, and it goes further, and what are the causes of this suffering? I think we have heard. He becomes devoid of truthfulness, cleanliness. This is Satyam, Saucham, Daya, Maunam, Buddhi, Sri, Hir, Yasha, Kshama. All these are gone. Samo, Damo, Bhagas, Chete, Yat Sangat, Yati, Sankshayam are destroyed. Uh, so all these are destroyed. These qualities are gone because he is getting more and more involved into the matter, into the Vishaya. विषयाविनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जरसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते. So this matter is so strong that one is so much attracted to it. One should not associate with a coarse fool who is bereft of knowledge of self-realization and who is no more than a dancing dog in the hands of a woman. Rupa, did you hear this today? Yeah, yeah, this came. Yeah, this came today when we were hearing from His Holiness Kadamkaran Maharaj.
Yeah.
He was giving about Dhruva Maharaj, yeah, in Madhuvan. In that connection, we heard this that uh, how Uttanapada has become. This is what even Maharaj says. Yeah, in the three chapters, he was saying this is what on the strength of Bhagavatam, it is said that Uttanapada became a henpecked husband of Suruchi. For that, he used exactly the same word. Who is no more than a dancing dog in the hands of a woman. Uh, so one should be careful not to associate with such a person and forget about that. It is said that the infatuation and bondage which accrue to a man from attachment to any other object is not as complete as resulting from attachment to a woman or to the fellowship of men who are fond of women. So the grossest factor of one becoming attached or bondage is cannot beat the attraction against a woman or uh, against what do you call this a group of people or fellowship who are also interested in women. And in fact, if we see the whole world is running behind women, so one has to see, okay, That's how these days we see so many crazy concepts of enjoying opposite sex have come into market in so many ways. Why? Because there are so many people who are in need of that. No, not in need, who are thinking that they need it. They are having so many science and advancement. Whatever is a scientific advancement also is used in this. So the grossest trap for a person in the material world is attraction to the opposite sex. Nothing can beat that. Even if one has so much money, he is still behind enjoyment. Yeah. Attachment, I mean, purport goes longer, but I'll just attachment to women is so contaminating that one becomes attached to the condition of material life, not only by the association of women, but by the contaminated association of persons who are too attached to it. Out of four social divisions, the members of first order, namely Brahmacharya, and the third order Vanaprastha, and the fourth Sannyas are strictly prohibited from female association. Only in one order, the householder is their license to mix with women under restricted conditions. In other words, attraction for women's association is the cause of material conditional life. In fact, we can see how much glorification is there about women power. Yeah, we are all these days talking the women power, Nari Shakti, and all these things. At the sight of his own daughter, Brahma was bewildered by her charm and shamelessly ran up to him. I mean, this will come later in another context. But the point here is that Lord Krishna's, we can see, it is best therefore to practice controlling the senses by performing bhakti yoga. Why? By engaging in the service of Madana Mohana. Madana, who is a Cupid who is attacking our heart and mind, capturing and attracting to the opposite sex, hmm, thinks he is so great. He is so great, but when he saw the beauty of Krishna, Madana Mohana, he became Lord Krishna's name is Madan Mohan, for he can subdue the god Cupid or lust. Only by engaging in the service of Madan Mohan can one curb the dictates of Madan, Cupid. Otherwise, attempts to control the senses will fail. Some we know, oh, it's very, very dangerous. After all, this is not at all needed, not at all good. But what to do? I am conditioning so much myself. The easy way against such a dangerous thing is by always remembering Krishna and taking his strength among all kinds of living entities. Okay, this goes further. Yeah, in fact, it is said none but the sage Narayan is immune to the attraction of Maya in the form of women. That is the basic principle of this material world. Lord Brahma's being attracted by his daughter is the vivid example that no one is exempted from sexual attraction to women. Therefore, woman is wonderful creature of Maya to keep conditioned soul in shackles. So in fact that's happening, and in fact there is no um, surprise, or is it a fantasy or is it a fiction? No. And balam me pasya mayaya sri maya jaino disham ya karoti padakrantan means following at her heels. Akranta. Bhruvi jrubhena kevalam. Just with the so this is also this is also what Maharaj was telling. I think you asked Narupa, how come that women are more attractive? You asked, no? When Maharaj said, yeah,
Yeah.
this is what Bhagavatam is saying. Who by the mere movement of her eyebrows can keep even the greatest conquerors of the world under her grip. In fact, Prabhupada gives some examples, very easy for today's world, is about Cleopatra. There are many instances in the history of the world of great conquerors being captivated by charms of a Cleopatra. One has to study the captivating potency of women and man's attraction for that potency. Huh? From what source was this generated? All this is happening. So many so many kingdoms have fallen. All these things happened because of women. Now, and does this mean, oh, we are targeting only women? One who aspires to reach the culmination of yoga and has realized his self by rendering service to the Lord should never associate with an attractive woman. For such a woman is declared in the scriptures to be the gateway to hell for advancing devotee. Very interesting. Now the definition of what is attractive woman, yeah, is very very sensitive. In fact, in the purport, Prabhupada is giving that in no standard yoga system is the association of women accepted. It is clearly stated here that the association of women is the gateway to hellish life. The association of women is very much restricted in Vedic civilization. And of course, the question is coming, hey, is it our fault that if we are attractive, the Lord has created us like that? What to do? Yeah, I have seen so many devotees, Matajis, who are very, very humble. And then, in fact, I still, I mean, all of a sudden I keep remembering this one Mataji. I met her in, I met her before she left the world once in Simhachalam. I mean, she's very nice, very, 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 very nice devotee. She doesn't talk so much, but very loving and caring. And they came along with their kids to Gauradesh, I think, I don't know, maybe 20 years back. And yeah, Prabhuji is very good at astrology, and then he also sees astrology, and she facilitates. Yeah, while he is maybe little okay, um, not so. Or maybe he's very more strict in terms of okay, yeah, this is what is the fee for that, etc. But she says, no, no, don't worry, yeah, my husband, I'll talk to him. And she went and she says, okay. She's very, very sweet and very nice. Talks very little, but her devotion very soft, and devotion is very, very exemplary. So once yeah, we of course time to time were meeting either in Simhachalam or in Gauradesh, etc. And then once one evening in Simhachalam outside the tent, there was something Mataji did, something very nice, and I appreciated her for Mataji. And she immediately, I mean, she was already having a veil on her head, and she didn't even respond. She didn't even, she was very, very careful that, oh, no praises. Why I'm here is not for praise, it's only to please the Lord. May Lord be pleased. That's the only thing she was looking, and she was not at all talking, and she was so much internalized in serving. That's it. Not even talking a word with anyone other than, yeah, as I said. So, what does it mean? And of course, Mataji, yeah, we cannot say, okay, oh, it's because she was not looking so beautiful. No, she's fully beautiful because of spiritual potency. Huh? Just by seeing her, one can become a devotee. Uh, so, it's not that, okay, one is saying, okay, hey, is it all blaming the women community? No, no, every person is endowed with a responsibility according to how the Lord has designed. And one's beauty is intensified when one does that role. Otherwise, I mean, I read somewhere, I have to recollect that a woman is not considered a woman if she is not having womanly character. No, this comes not from me. It's not my thoughts, my opinions. It comes from straight from Ramayana. This is what Vishwamitra Muni said when Ram was very compassionate and very soft, not to kill Tadaka, right? Yeah. At that time, Vishwamitra Muni says, yeah, though you see she is a woman form, but she is not a woman. She is a Rakshasi, she is a demon. And of course, still Ram wanted to honor, still Ram wanted to offer respect. And Vishwamitra Muni again repeats saying, hey, yeah, she doesn't deserve to be treated like that. Uh, to establish dharma, one has to be strong. Yeah? In fact, I mean, I can keep on telling many stories of once there was my own chef in Burger King from France. Oh, I had so much respect to women, always very, very respectful, etc., etc., etc. One fine day, she stole money from the Burger King, and she left. Yeah, all respect. To whom should I give now? Because of her goodness? No, there is no goodness. Is she a woman? God knows. Anyway, I'll not take longer. Let's close this soon. The woman created by the Lord is representation of Maya, and one who associates, and that's why the difference between a woman and a devotee woman, there is a huge difference. There is a gulf of difference between a woman and a devotee woman. That's why we have to be careful. Now the devotee, I mean, I think there are already so many Matajis who are really ready. Hey, Prabhu, what are you talking about us? No, we are not talking about devotees. Yeah, let's not worry about us. We're talking about those women who are not devotees, who do not value what is the life and what is the purpose of life. Not you all. So it says that, yeah, just like a blind well covered with grass, it's just like that. Looks very nice. Just an elephant is captured this way that the whole pit is covered with grass and the elephant comes running behind a she elephant. It doesn't know there is a pit here covered with the grass, and then it falls down and it is starved almost to death, not giving food, water, anything. When it becomes so weak, then a cross ladder is made and then the elephant climbs up and comes out. Traps are always there. Ya manyate patim mohan, man mayam vishabhayitam. Anyway, the summary here is a living entity who, as a result of attachment to women in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of woman. What does this statement says is, a person, a man who is now so much interested in women, in his next life he will get a woman body, because he's liking women so much, he's liking women so much, that because of this so much attachment for that likingness, the Lord is giving, okay, you become a woman. And then in the next life this woman becomes becomes an object of attraction, or she becomes the ruler. Yeah, just with a wink of the eyebrow she can command, padakrantan, conquer people. So this is happening again and again and again and again. Hmm. And a woman therefore should consider her husband, her house and her children to be arrangement of external energy of Lord for her death. So what is happening? Just as the sweet singing of hunter is death for the deer. So women should also understand, it's not that okay, a family life is to make sure that I am happy or my family is happy. No, every man or a woman should understand the role of us is to get out of this cycle of birth and death. It is not that we all make a nice house here. Come on, let's make a very nice house, beautiful, what do you call, duplex house, triplex house, whatever house we want. No, that's not the goal. Over endeavoring is only harmful. We should understand that we should keep Krishna in the center and see whatever we can do, what all we can do for Krishna. That should be the goal. But if the attachment is transferred to Krishna, both of them become Krishna conscious, and then marriage is very nice. अनाशक्तस्य विषयान् यथार्थम उपयुञ्जतः निर्बंध कृष्ण संबंधे युक्त वैराग्य मुच्यते. If we want to understand bhakti, and if we want to know how easy it is said by Rupa Goswami in this one verse. What is that? Anya anashaktasya vishayan, no interest in all the other things. Yadhartam upayunjatah nirbandha Krishna sambandhe. uh, man and woman should live together as householders in relationship with Krishna, only for the purpose of discharging duties in service of Krishna. Engage the children, engage the wife, engage the husband, all in Krishna conscious duties. Then all these bodily or material attachments will disappear. Since the medium is Krishna, the consciousness is pure, and there is no possibility of degradation to any time, at any time. Dehana jiva bhutena lokan lokam anuvrjan bhunjana eva karmani karoti aviratam puman. So that should be the goal. I mean, I'll leave the last few verses for you to read the purports, especially the 48 is giving the summary of everything. Uh, so it is admitted even by the impersonalists like Shankaracharya that Narayana is transcendental to this material creation. So when we connect it to the transcendence, then we can come out of this Falgu Vairagya, the fake liberation or fake sannyas. We become really sannyas. What is real sannyas from the 18th chapter? Can someone remember from Sunday? Hmm? Anyone? What does sannyas means?
Tyaga.
Hmm? completely absorbed in the service of the Lord is sannyas. Yeah, anyway, so we'll again cover more and more in coming weeks on Sundays. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I tried to stop but couldn't. Sorry for that. Yeah, any thoughts or anything someone want to share quickly? How was this part of the chapter more bewildering? See how much treasure we have in Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful recitation, Prabhuji. And I've always been amazed how you handle this sensitive topic in the right way, Prabhuji. So thank you for this. And
Yeah, when everyone is accommodating, I know that they can understand. Of course, if they have question, they'll ask so that I'll also understand more.
yes, Prabhuji. And I
Yeah,
think,
just speaking what it is, yeah, there is no fear. Only if I have to tell my own stories and my own things, right, then I have to worry.
yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. And I think our Shastras kind of also guide us how, we should be. And I think that will also save the lives of other innocent people if all of us follow this way, Prabhuji. Thank you
Yeah.
for this. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, then have a nice evening, and we'll start chapter 32 tomorrow. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. One thing is coming 21st, there is this program in Noise. I don't know if someone have not yet registered. Feel free to join. It will be very nice to celebrate once again the evening, and the topic is something I think very interesting for all of us to be motivated, which is about devotional parenting. And yeah, I think just now Satish Prabhu shared a link. If someone would like to join, want to register, can do it. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Krishna.